Let's talk about writing. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another writing video. So I do apologize today. I'm getting over a cold and I'm in the middle of doing a, not transatlantic, that's not the word, a cross-country move, I guess, a West Coast, East Coast move. And so I'm just barely fitting in the time to even make this video. Last week with my update, I was sort of talking about how I needed to find the time to put into my writing, and that I set a very manageable, what I thought was a manageable goal for myself, which was to just write the one scene that I really needed to work on, and you know, it just did not happen. Everything that could happen has happened. I've been working on grading 50 essays. I'm about to get 30 more tomorrow. We are trying to pack up everything we own in life to move across the country and then turn around and go on a vacation to meet my nephew for the first time. I got a flu shot on Monday and then promptly got the flu or some sort of cold right after it. So it's just been kind of like a nightmare. And I know that, like, I've been watching all these videos lately, like, don't give yourself excuses, writers need to write, blah blah blah. And like, while I totally agree, and how it definitely spoke to me, and I really feel like in 2019 I have really got to like put the effort in, at the same time you have to do what you're capable of doing, and this week I was just not capable of adding that much more to my plate. Now, what I did want to do was plot out the big scene and write it. What I ended up doing was plotting out about half of the scene. So what I kind of wanted to do in my writing video today was kind of maybe pose more of a question. I don't have a lot of people yet watching my writing videos. I am new to that, so I don't have as many writers watching these. But I'm just kind of throwing this out into the ether, out to the wilderness, the atmosphere, and seeing if someone can sort of respond. But I guess what I'm struggling with is that I'm trying to write a scene on location, basically. So I'll just say, I mean, this doesn't really spoil anything of my story, but I'm writing a scene that takes place at the Shed Aquarium in Chicago, which is a very like historical, well-known sort of like place in Chicago. And so I've been there a million times, you know, bagillion times. My dad's obsessed with fish and aquariums and all that stuff, so he took us a million times growing up. We always went with school trips and stuff like that, and then I've gone a bunch of times as an adult. So like, I've been there a whole bunch. So I was like, I can write this scene so easily, you know, whatever. And then I went to go write it, and it's like, I'm only remembering like pieces of it, even though I've been there like a million times. And I just feel like it's so hard to write a scene in a place that I haven't been. I guess it's maybe been, I don't know, maybe 3 years since I've been there. Maybe not even that long, but definitely, no. I maybe even went like 2 years or less. But anyway, like, it's a day-long scene, and so there's a lot of movement throughout the space, and the space is really important to like a lot of things that are happening in the scene. And so I really need to be specific in my descriptions of like where they're walking, what they're seeing, especially since it's such a well-known location. People are gonna know like that's not there, or that doesn't look like that, or they don't have that. So I've been trying really hard to like use from recollection. Sorry, my dogs are always doing something. They're playing or whatever, but anyway. So I've been like looking online and trying to find photos and going to their website and all that stuff. It just doesn't feel the same. Like, luckily I'm going to Illinois for Christmas, and so I'm gonna make a side trip up to the Shed Aquarium, and I'm gonna take like a sketch pad and I'm gonna like write and sort of just try to capture what's happening, the sort of atmosphere, the smells, you know, and like mapping it as well, like, okay, on this side is this and on this side is this, and so that I can describe this. Now, I know in the first draft you don't have to be that specific, and I shouldn't really be using this as an excuse, but it's just so hard for me when I just can't even like, I feel like I can't fully envision the space, and so it's really hard to write this really intricate long scene. Like, it's a huge like scene in my book. And so I don't know, it's a challenge. It's a challenge I've never done before. I've never written about a space like this before. I've done other writing, but mostly it's been speculative, but this is real life in a real place. And so this has been kind of a struggle. So I guess the question I'm kind of posing or asking is like, how do you write about a real location that like you're not in? Because I know people who have written about places they've never actually even been before, right? So like, how do you do that? Or how do you write about a space that like you don't know intimately, or that you haven't visited in the middle of the process? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go. Like, I am gonna have to go to get that scene nailed down. Like, I'm just gonna have to get, like I said, like a notepad. I'm gonna have to sit on a bench, and I'm gonna have to like describe what I'm seeing, you know, get everything written down. I gotta map out the space, what things look like, and I'm not one who writes a lot of description, but I just feel like this is such a well-known space and I'm not making it up. So it's really important that I get this right, if that makes sense. So I don't know, probably a lot of writers just kind of write some of it and then they go visit the location and like adjust. But I don't know, man. I know I make things harder for myself than I need to, and I should just push through, but I don't know, I'm really getting stuck with it. I'm trying the best that I can through photos online and through recollection to do some sort of like a skeleton of it, and that's kind of like the next thing that I'm gonna work on. I really thought I'd be able to get some done by the end of the year, and I just don't know what's gonna happen because everything is just so time consuming right now. We're about to be on the road in a few days. I'm really hoping maybe in the hotel I can write, but I am gonna try to vlog, and I don't know. I'm really hoping to get something done before the end of the year, but 100% starting January, like that is a major, major, major focus for me, because I want, at the very least, I would like to have an agent by the end of 2019. That's sort of a writing goal for me. So maybe my writing video next week, especially if I'm not able to get that much writing done, will be kind of setting up my goals for the year. If not next week, then probably the following Thursday. I'll set up my writing goals for the year, what my plan is, what I'm gonna be doing, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, so I guess I'm just kind of curious, like what people do when they're trying to write about real locations, how to write setting, how to make it realistic, because I have read some books before where people are clearly writing about a space that I feel like I know more intimately than they do, and it shows, and I don't want this to show. I actually do know this space. It's probably the one space in Chicago I know the best. Maybe that and like the art museum, but like, well, no, probably Brookfield Zoo, I know better. But anyway, that's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is I know this space very well, but it's so different when you're really trying to like recreate it in a way that is authentic but also like lends itself to your story, if that makes sense, because the space is really important to what's happening. And I don't know, I've never written anything like this before, so definitely like if you have advice or things that you're thinking about or things that could be helpful, you know, comment down below. But this is more just kind of me chronicling what I'm dealing with right now. I don't know how interesting this is to other people, but I have looked for this so much online. I just really like to see the inner workings of like the process of like what you're going through when you're trying to write a draft, what the process is like trying to query, getting an agent, editing, on sub. So I don't know, maybe if for nobody else, I'm keeping this for me as sort of a journey that someday when I'm the next J.K. Rowling, I can look back on this and be like, oh yeah, remember when you were struggling about writing about the Shedd Aquarium? You know, I don't know, that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm really trying to like focus on that scene because it is such an important scene to the book, and I'm really just trying to find the time. And like I said, I've been watching a lot of videos lately where people are kind of like, I get it, I totally get it, but they're trying to like really push you to stop using excuses, and I am the queen of excuses. And so I really am not trying to give myself an excuse. I've said this before in other videos, but being a writer is something I want kind of more than anything in the world, and I'm putting so much pressure on myself that it's making me like unable to do it. So I'm trying to push through that, trying to get through it, and 2019 is going to be the year for me. But my dogs are insisting on fighting right next to me. So I need to get back to grading and think more about this writing thing. So hopefully next week I will have more to report on my writing, but that's where I'm at right now. Still working on that scene. Not much progress, but hopefully some in the near future. So if you are currently writing, how are things going for you? How's your progress been? Have you come up with any new ideas? Have you made any good progress? Or are you stalling? Is it hard for you during the holidays? Let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, sorry this was short and kind of whatever, but it is what it is, and that's that. So I'm gonna go now. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.